go.
Cal, I noticed you have something beside you.
I do. I'm drinking a can of Mood, lads. It's a natural energy drink. Natural energy, natural ingredients, natural everything.
I'm a fan of that,
you
man.
got your work, you got your chill, you got your sleep, you got your play. You got a drink for every occasion, lads. It's brilliant. And again, it's natural. Did I say it's natural? I did.
Sound. Would you dare ask what's beside me?
So what's next to you?
My ball deodorant, Cal.
Oh, can I get a sniff of that?
Have a wee whiff there. From Manscaped. Working with these guys for 3 years now. Top tier. Oh, you're reading the paper. You got the news, did you?
Well, while you're doing that, I'll read the paper, alright?
Yeah. And in that paper, there's a certain segment that says if you use code SOSPOD, you get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Manscaped.
Oh.
The best a man can get. Where's that, Joe lad? All right.
Nah.
So today we're joined by Squishy Trev, an old buddy of mine.
Hello,
How are we, Trev?
everyone.
You get to sit through
I'm
that.
doing well.
You deserve a gold star.
Hello.
How are we, man?
I am doing quite well. How are you doing?
Fresh. Fresh as a daisy now.
He just
Ooh,
trimmed.
Nice.
He's fresh.
All
Oh.
trimmed and ready to
There
go.
we go. I've
That's
drank a
it.
liter of iced coffee. I'm ready to do this.
Oh, there we
Nice.
go. Now we're all sorted.
But Trev,
And I have my water.
if he needs a bathroom break, I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Uh-oh. I'll be okay. I'll be good.
Okay, because we're going 4 or 5 hours for this. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's a Netflix series. We're doing a Netflix
Doing a
series.
documentary.
I did not know this.
No. If we did that long, we all melt into our chairs and just be like, yeah.
That's it.
How are
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
good,
would
man.
probably just like, hold on, let's see if it works. It did work. Sorry, everyone.
Your chair
My chair-
sinks automatically. It just slowly goes down like every so often. Like,
It does do that though, for real.
yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, that's
We must have the same chair.
We must all have the same
Probably
chair.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't get you on to talk about chairs, man. So Trev is a bit of a legend on Twitch. You haven't heard of him? At Squishy Trev. He's top tier. This motherfucker started in 2020 for the crack. And he's streaming on a fucking laptop. And then, I think just last year, or even this year, you hit partner
Mm-hmm.
using the same laptop. Streaming Phasmophobia. Man, my head would have melted if I had to play Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia.
I
Like.
did that for ages. I basically copied you. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love Phasmophobia. And 3 months into streaming, I'm like, I hate this fucking game. Every day, I hate this game.
The first game I played with Jer was Phasmophobia, and
Yeah.
it was the first time I ever played it. And I was like, "What's this?" So
It's
That's
amazing.
And
the
I
first time
bet
you
you
play.
were. I bet you were pleasantly surprised what happened.
I was when I realized you can talk into a microphone and ghosts can hear you. So
Yeah.
that was quite scary.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But once again, dude, congratulations on
Thank you.
doing that with a laptop.
you.
know, at the moment you got a crazy setup right now, don't you? You got an actual PC.
I did upgrade to a PC. I have a desktop, which is pretty awesome. My laptop basically was like when I was trying to stream, and so I had to switch to a gaming PC, and I haven't looked back. So it's pretty cool.
So if
A lot
you're
more.
thinking of starting streaming and you have a laptop, go at it because Trev could do it.
Yes,
That's it.
anyone can do it. You do not need all the bells and whistles. You don't need all the expensive pieces of equipment. You don't even need a webcam if you don't want to have one.
No.
But basically, just do your thing, be comfortable doing it, and it is a little bit of a learning curve at first. It's a little weird to get set up and to figure out, can my chat hear me? Is the game broadcasting properly? Am I at the right frames per second? Stuff like that. But once you get a hang of it, it totally, it's all you. You got this.
I said a laptop, I suppose, just getting used to, how much you can
Yeah.
plug into it and stuff. And I mean, you got a hang of that pretty well. So
Yes, and what's funny about the laptop is it ran on 8 gigabytes of RAM too. So
Man,
oh no!
I
way.
was- I
oh no!
I was low tier, and I was
Holy
able
wow.
to do a lot with that. So it is possible. You just have to come up with a plan, be adaptable, and get out there and meet other streamers, meet other content creators. Put yourself out there. It can be a little scary at first, especially if you're more reserved of a person where you don't feel comfortable reaching out to other people. But the best way to grow is to open yourself up to meeting new people because
Mm,
that is what gets you the exposure, that is what gets you noticed, and that is what brings in a community, brings in members to your community, and then they tell their friends, and they come in, and then they tell their friends, and then boom, everything just grows from there.
It's basically
wow.
how myself and yourself met.
It's
There we
it it,
go.
it, it really like you said, I started in 2020, at the end of 2020, December, and at first, it was a struggle to reach affiliate. I was for a few weeks like, oh, I'm only pulling in maybe one or two viewers. I'm not really getting anywhere with this. Uh, but I kept telling myself I'm going to continue doing this. This is something that's getting me through the pandemic because that was at the really um, there really wasn't much that any of us could do at the time to go out and do things. So I just kept telling myself, I'm going to keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing this. I tried different games. I was bringing in a few people here and there. And then I turned to phasmophobia, and then everything just like boom went straight up from there.
That's brilliant.
You
Pleasant
know,
surprise. Huh?
That's yeah.
yeah, I was like, what is happening?
Wow. And I remember like very first stream, as you said, it's quiet and stuff, and just meeting new people. Like, do you
Yeah.
remember your first stream? I bet it was nerve wracking. Or
Oh, my first stream was December 27th, 2020. I was using the Twitch studio at the time because I didn't know all the different broadcasting software. I was just like, oh, I'll just use this to see what happens. And I had my webcam that was embedded in the laptop. Um, and the microphone that I have here, I can't remember why I got this, but it wasn't for streaming. Initially, I was using it for something else, but then I was like, "Oh, I'll use this microphone." Um, so I had that, the webcam, and I played Resident Evil 2, the remake. And I just remember I had some members of chat or some friends in chat telling me that the sounds were so loud in the game that they couldn't hear me talking because I had the volume for the game set at max and my microphone was like at the 20% mark. So no one could hear me and they just like everything is loud and I'm like, "Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that."
Yeah.
Um but I had a lot of fun with that first stream. It was like all over the place. I'm not gonna lie. I had no idea what I was doing. And I just remember after it was done, I was like, oh, I want to see, the highlights of this stream, see what it looked like. I didn't have it saved where my VODs would save. I can't remember why they didn't save. I was like, oh, I don't have any record of my first stream. I was so disappointed. So what I did the following stream is I did it again. I made the changes necessary. I turned the volume of the game down. I tweaked some of the settings of the game. That way it wasn't laggy because the game capture apparently was very choppy, and it's probably because I was streaming on my laptop, and I wasn't really thinking, oh, maybe I should drop the graphic settings down by half or anything, something like that. But when I did that second stream, everything worked out so much better. Um, and from there, I was just like, I don't know what kind of games I want to play. Like I said, I started with Resident Evil 2 Remake, and then I jumped around. I played some Fall Guys here and there. I tried out Alien Isolation, didn't get very far. Um, I was like, don't know what I'm doing in this game. What other games did I play? Now I'm thinking, the Ori and the Will of the
oh,
Wisps. I played. And I want to say I tried out. Now I'm thinking about it, I can't remember what the other game was. But then that's when I had phasmophobia, and that is ultimately when things changed for me, is when I
Yeah,
got into Phasmo. Yeah.
that's brilliant.
So I
Did
felt like I
you?
went on a big tangent there, but
No. Did you always have an aim to just play the horror games at the start, or?
well, when I started, I had this idea that I was going to be variety. Um, I didn't really think what type of variety. I just wanted to play whatever game came to mind, and I was all about just building up a community. My focus was community was my ultimate goal. Build up a community that would support each other, be there for each other, encourage each other, etc. But then the games that I was playing, I was like, well, if I'm playing a scary game here and then I'm playing a not so scary game, I'm going to have people who are into horror and then those who are not into it coming into the community. Would I be able to bring them together and build a cohesive community? Um, and I noticed that when I played the scary games, more people were staying around as opposed to when I played not so scary games. So when I started playing Phasmo, I really started bringing in a lot of community members who were interested in the horror aspect. Plus, my reactions are I
You're
scare
very
very
well known
easily,
for them.
by the way.
Very well known
Yes,
for them.
I scream a lot. I scare easily.
You have a scream
I know
count on your last game. I seen.
I have a scream
Yeah, I
count
saw
now.
that.
Yeah, I now have a scream counter, which is pretty funny. I've noticed that sticking with scary games in the horror genre is the best for my community because that is what I built the community upon. But don't get me wrong, if I play a not so scary game or just like an adventure action game or a first person shooter, anything like that, I still have those members of the community who will stay regardless of what I play. And just a tip to anyone who's considering streaming or who is struggling to reach affiliate or they reach affiliate and they don't know what their next step is. Don't And this is something that I always got hung up on. Don't let a change in the genre of game make you feel undeserving of what you're doing. Basically, what I'm getting at is if you do a scary stream and you have, let's say, 20 viewers, and then you do a not so scary stream and you only have 5, don't let that discourage you. That happens. And um, it happens to all of us, really. One day we're going to have a lot of people watching us, the next day, not so much. And when I play the scary games, I tend to have a higher viewership than when I play not so scary games. So it is something to keep in mind if you are wanting to become a streamer or you are a streamer and you're struggling. That is something that does play a factor. Um, and that's why I ultimately stay more on the horror side of things because I know that's what the community really loves and likes to see when they watch me.
Wow,
It's definitely a
love
fun
that.
genre. I basically called
And it's
myself a horror streamer for last 5 months. Now he changed it up recently. It is
yeah,
seriously funny.
and what's cool about it is there's so many games out there, especially the indie games, which
Mm.
I'm all about supporting indie games, indie game development, indie game devs, because it does take a lot of work to make a video game and to make a game that you're marketing to all gamers, regardless of what their specific niche is. I hope I said that right. What they feel most comfortable in. You know, if you like Phasmophobia, for example, you know, a lot of horror streamers play that game, but it has brought in so many other types of gamers who play solely first person shooters or play solely action adventure games. You know, they're coming over and experiencing Phasmophobia, and I think that's pretty cool. And that's what I like about the horror genre. It brings in as a lot of people, especially now that with August here, we're going to be going into September and then October. A lot of people want to get scared when October rolls around. So
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to see a lot of scary gameplay here in the
An
future.
influx.
Oh, yes.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, no, do love the old horrors myself. I
Yes.
have to say, I love your reactions.
Oh,
I love your reactions.
So
It's either
I get asked.
straight face
I
or scream.
Yeah,
It's either you
I
look at the
get-
camera annoyed or screaming your
Yeah.
lungs out.
I get asked this quite frequently. They're like, "Do you really get scared that easily?" I was like, "I do. I've been that way for a very long time. If someone like turns a corner and I don't expect it, I'll jump. If I am looking at something on my phone and for some reason I push the screen a little too fast, I'll jump because it's just like it's just like a reaction all the time to me. And so when I play these games and not only the gameplay scares me, but chat finds ways to scare me as well, whether it be a loud sound that they play, if they play any sort of external program, like I use Dixper while I stream. So if someone plays a card and it makes me jump, I'll scream. Usually it's a scream followed by
Yeah.
Serious face.
usually
Yeah.
that's what it is. But yes, I am known for my screams and I am known for my unamused
Yeah,
face.
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, I love that because
That's
the
too funny
Dixper
though.
brings up stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh yes, and they always find ways to get me at the most interesting time. Something's happening, and I'm like focused, and then boom, it's all over my screen, and I just
I
why
begin to notice that they also time it. Like
they
that,
do.
they'll
They
there's a
time it
moment where you think there'll be
perfectly.
a jump scare. If there's not, they'll fill it in for you. They'll find a way to scare you at that moment. Like you're opening the door,
Exactly.
you heard the noise behind it, nothing's there. You turn around, here comes Dixper.
Dixper all over the screen. And there was a good one just recently that they got me with, and I was like, "Are you serious right now? Are you serious?"
Oh,
It's pretty good.
I love
that is brilliant.
The community is what makes
Yeah.
it. Like, otherwise you're just
Oh
a guy
yes,
or gal sitting there doing just playing a game.
just playing a
This
game.
is nothing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When there's engagement with your community where they can interact with you and find ways to get you, that makes it so much better. It makes the experience so much more worth it. And I know at first for anyone who is trying to reach affiliates, sometimes that can be difficult because there are rules in place with these third-party platforms where you have to be affiliated before you can utilize them. Specifically, if it requires bits, because you have to be an affiliate to cheer bits, but you also have to be an affiliate to play sounds or redeem sounds if you are charging bits with it. Dixper's a little different. I don't believe that you can make money off of it until you're an affiliate. That was my understanding of when I started using it. But things might have changed since then. So but once you do reach affiliate, try and find ways to incorporate those into your stream. Dixper's a perfect example of using something that you could reward your community with and encourage them to find ways to interact with you. Sound alerts and Blurp, those are two other additional external platforms that you can utilize in your stream as well. And they bring about some pretty cool reactions.
I need to
Pretty
get
funny.
behind this shit. I need
Pretty
the
funny
sounds.
ones.
Yeah.
Cal, you use
Wow.
that as well, don't you?
Yeah, I have quite a lot going on my screens, I must say.
Yeah.
I have a lot going on.
Yeah.
I've been
You
putting
know,
off Dixper for so long.
Dixper's
Yeah,
great.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's the first few times I used it, I was like, I'm gonna regret this. And I haven't looked back. The regret is there because I get scared, but I love it because it gives the community a chance to really interact with me and interact with each other, and I think that's pretty awesome.
And that's, I suppose, your
Yeah.
community love the fact that they can get involved with all your streams, and I mean, I know that
Yeah.
community just loves that, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good way to bring in a community too, and to bring in new members and grow. Because if there's a big difference between just sitting there and playing, not really interacting with your community, versus being engaged with as many people as you can. Sometimes it can be difficult, especially if you have a lot of people in your chat at once. It can be very difficult to keep up with everyone. But if you find ways to engage them and keep them invested in what you're doing, it really pays off. Find games that you can supplement your actual gameplay with, so it can encourage your community members to stay around. There are games like Marbles on Stream. There's a new one called Boom Bears that you can play. Um, Pixel Plush has this parachute drop that I have on my stream. It's pretty cool. It's a cute way of engaging your community. And also Words on Stream. I find Words on Stream to be a lot of fun as well.
Mm.
So there are plenty of opportunities that you can utilize to get your community involved in interacting with you and with each other. And that is something that I think is pretty awesome. And I think every streamer should incorporate at least one thing into their streaming setup. That way it does encourage others in your chat to get involved, and it helps to expand your channel. Oh, forgot Stream Raiders. How did I forget Stream Raiders? That's another one
That
you
is
can
something you
use.
enjoy.
Love the
Oh,
stream rate.
there goes my chair. It's sinking again. I have to do this
That's so
numerous
stink.
times.
It's time for a new chair.
Well, this is what's funny is this is actually a new chair, so I don't know why it keeps
Oh
doing it.
wow. No.
Oh, but it is what it is.
That's fantastic. Love that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, Stream Raiders is something I've seen you play a million times. I've never understood it. I've never joined it.
Oh, it's a lot of
It's-
fun.
I should probably
It is.
It's a good way to get your community involved, because they can find you. You would be considered a captain. You have to have a certain number of followers to become a captain. Usually, it's around 100, I believe,
It's
followers.
100. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people find that number very daunting, but you can achieve 100 followers if you really dedicate yourself to getting out there, meeting new people, etc. And once you get that, you become a Stream Raiders captain. You invite your chat to join your team. They place units down. You fight off the enemy, and then you just continue through, and you go through different levels. And it honestly, it is a lot of fun. And a lot of the community members I have really do enjoy playing it, because not only do they get a chance to play Stream Raiders with my team, but they can play with other streamers as well, and they can increase their units, their army arsenal that they have while playing. The more they play, the more they can build up their specific team, or not team, but specific army of units. So it's a fun, interactive way, and it can really encourage a lot of people, especially non-streamers, those who are just viewers, who really love to get involved. And I think that's pretty cool that there's something like that exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I do,
it seems you're dropping little bits of advice left, right, and center here. So I'll be picking up on them anyway. But
Yeah.
you said earlier, it took
Writing
you a
them
while.
down as we go.
Yeah,
Like
seriously.
There. Check.
I have
check.
40 clips so far. We're 20 minutes in. You said earlier, did I mishear what you said, that it took you a while to hit affiliate?
It did. When it took about a month. So it's not like a long time, but I was streaming every day when I first started, sometimes 2 times a day. And I was finding I was struggling, because when you first start, to reach affiliate, you need to stream on, let me see if I get this right, 12 different days, or 12 hours total, 8 different days. I may have that backwards. You need at least 50 followers, and you need the average of 3 viewers per hour. I got the 50 followers first. That was the first thing I achieved. And then I want to say it was the stream on 8 separate days. I believe that was the second one in the 12 hours. I got that right after I got the 50 followers. So I was able to get the first 3 parts done. It was that 3 viewers an hour that was tough because, when you're playing games like Fall Guys or Resident Evil 2 or Among Us, that was the other game that I was playing. There were a lot of people streaming those games at that time too. So I was at the bottom because if you go into those games and you look, it'll either give you the recommended or go from highest to lowest viewership. So I was like, I'm not pulling anyone in with these games. And that usually is what can deter a lot of new streamers from wanting to continue because they're like, why do this if I can't pull anyone in? But I made sure that when I was doing this, I streamed as if I had a full chat. Like I was talking, I was being vocal. Even though I might have only said 1 or 2 people were watching, I kept talking. I kept making sure, like, if someone was actually in chat talking to me, because I wanted people to know that I'm going to interact with you if you pop in. And that's something I noticed that a lot of new streamers struggle with, because if they see their number on the bottom, if they use OBS, for example, they'll see 1 or they'll see 2, and they're like, well, I'm not really going to talk because there's like no one watching me.
That's
You
the thing
should
I
talk
hate.
like so.
Going to
Yeah,
someone's
you should
stream and it's just dead. Dead
talk
silence.
talk like someone is there. Even if it
Yeah.
says 0, talk like someone is there.
You're entertainer first. The gaming comes second.
Yeah.
The way I see it is you treat your chair like an interview chair. As soon as someone comes in, they have 5 to 10 seconds where they're just thinking of you, of what this person's like. So you got to treat it like an interview. You got to make an example. So if you just keep talking, I think that's the best thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Make that
100%.
impression. Make that impression, because if you don't make an impression, people will pop in and be like, I'm going to go to someone else because I don't know if they're going to really react to me
Oh, Jared's
or anything
quiet.
like that.
I wonder what Trev's doing.
I've
I've had that happen millions of times, Trev.
Yeah.
It honestly it happens, and it even happens with me now where I'm at. Like, I know people pop in, and if I'm really invested in something, I'm not really vocal, but my reactions are there. I'm like, oh, what is happening? And something like that captures someone's eye and they want to stay around. So one thing that I really recommend for, I really got off tangent with this, for
There's no
those
such
who are
thing.
trying to reach affiliate, be engaging. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. As tough as that might be, you're gonna have to get a little uncomfortable to grow. One thing that I do recommend, on if you use OBS, turn off the viewer count. Don't even look at it, because that is ultimately what discourages a lot of people from wanting to continue. They see 1, they see 2, they're like, well, why do I even bother? If you turn that off, you're not even going to think about it. You're going to enjoy your gameplay. You're going to enjoy the streaming experience. That is what you should be doing. And if you decide to turn that viewer count back on, wait until after you get affiliate. That way you're not stressing out about that. And then once you reach affiliate, you go through the onboarding process. Then you can cheer, your community can cheer bits. You can have emotes, they can sub, etc. So that is something that I highly recommend.
But don't
So I
forget
feel
all
like
of those. Remember,
did
Twitch
I-
wants their
did I-
slice.
did I answer the question?
I think you did it beautifully. And
I
perfectly.
did. I hope I did.
There's no yes or no
Oh,
answers
beautiful.
with something like that. So I think
No.
you nailed it.
I talk a lot, so for those of you watching, I
We're three of the most chatty streamers on the platform.
We are.
I
We
go
are.
to Cal.
This-
He's reading the dictionary at full speed. Go to your one. You're screaming and saying hi, everybody. It's brilliant.
Like, I have so many dictionaries, different languages. I'm just going through them. It's,
Oh,
it's
nice.
I
insane.
started doing the Mongolian one. It was terrifying.
Oh, Jesus! Don't even get me started on that.
Go high speed on that thing. It's insane.
Oh no, I totally agree with what you're saying. No, 100%. I think just having the viewer count off and just chatting as if
Yeah.
just even talking to the game, like narrating
Yes.
what's going on. It just brings some level of entertainment if you've no one there. Someone pops in like, this is quite funny or this is kind of awesome. So yeah, I totally agree, 100%.
And I was doing that too. I was like narrating what was going on, and I would have someone pop in. They'd be like, "Hello," and I was like, "Hi, welcome on in. I'm Squish. You call me Squishy. You call me Trev, Squishy Trev, whatever." I was like, "How you doing?" Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a good way to really engage with new members of your community. And if you keep doing that, you're more likely to bring more people in. And the more people you bring in, the more your community can expand and you can grow on the platform.
Agreed.
So.
Yeah.
Drop the knowledge.
That's
step
the
by
way to
step.
do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you
But
did make
as
a
I said, we're
hint
taking
earlier
notes.
that you would play other games that aren't just horror games. You even mentioned put a
Yes.
name, first person shooters. So when are we seeing Squishy Trev take on Warzone, Apex,
Warzone.
Fortnite,
Yeah.
the whole shebang? I tried it for the first time and I doubled my views. It was amazing.
I should get some of those games. I actually don't have any downloaded on the PC, but I do have some. Well, I could talk about my non-streaming adventures. Specifically, when I was younger, I loved playing GoldenEye 64
Oh,
on the Nintendo 64. That was one of my
oh my
favorite
God.
games growing up. I love that game. Multiplayer games with your friends was just awesome. I loved it. And then that introduced me to other first-person shooter games. And then I kind of broke away from that, and then just kind of like, I really don't know what kind of games I want to play. And then I got back into playing GoldenEye, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I love this game, and I love games that are like this. And I can't. Perfect Dark. I think it was Perfect
Oh my
Dark.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. Kind of like it was developed
A lot
by the
like Gold.
same company that did GoldenEye, from what I
Very, very
recall.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know they re-released it on the Xbox, so I downloaded it and I was playing it and I loved it. Um, so I am looking to get more into the first-person shooter aspect. I also have played third-person shooters. You know, if you think the horror third-person shooter over the shoulder, you think Resident Evil. The later entries, Dead Space, which is another one of my favorite series that I like the. I need to stream that, by the way.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But I love the Mass Effect trilogy, the original Mass Effect
Mm.
trilogy, and that was a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter as well. So people just think I just play scary games all the time. I do, but I also like to play those games as well. So, and I've also like Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto, GTA. Oh my gosh, I just remembered when I played GTA 3 when I was younger.
Yes.
And Vice City. that's bringing back some good memories from my adolescence. But I try to be open to as many games as possible. So
Is that direction you're moving into, like more variety than just horror, or are you looking
yeah.
to? Yeah.
I want to get more variety. Although lately I have been more horror variety, so I'm staying within the horror genre, but I'm switching up. I've taken a little bit of a break from Phasmo. I'm exploring other games. I have played The Mortuary Assistant. There's a new ghost hunting game called Ghost Watchers, which I'm really enjoying. I started playing Madison yesterday, which
Oh, geez.
yeah, exactly. I had to stop because I was getting so overwhelmed by everything that was going on. And there are a lot of new entries that are going to be coming out later this year and next year that I'm really excited for. Like I know The Hauntings is going to be coming out in the next few months. Phantom Hysteria is going to be coming out.
There's a
What's
Calypso
another
or
one?
something. It's a space horror game.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Callisto Protocol.
that's
Yes,
the one.
yes, and that was actually someone who worked on the original Dead Space. This is
Mm,
their title that's going to be coming out, which I think is pretty cool.
it's going
And
to be amazing. Yeah.
uh, I'm going to be streaming that when that comes out too. So I have a lot of games out there that I'm in the horror genre that I'm liking and that I'm playing a lot of, but I'm trying to also break away from that. I'm gonna go, probably go back to some retro. I have a Switch. Unfortunately, every time I set up my capture card, it just doesn't want to work for me. I think I'm missing something, but once I get that taken care of, I'm gonna go back to playing like the Mario games, Donkey Kong, probably Smash Brothers, Zelda. Love Zelda. Grew up with that. And probably Super Metroid because that
Mm,
was the game that I loved in my childhood. Super Metroid
yeah.
was my game. I tried doing a speed run of it once. I didn't get very far, or I got far, but then something happened that I messed it up. So it is what it is.
Yeah. No,
So,
solid
I've
games
never
there.
tried those games. I've never tried them. I'm too
oh,
too, too young for
Oh,
everything you're talking about.
I grew up with Zelda as well. I think
Yeah,
SNES
yeah.
was my first one.
GoldenEye
SNES
I've
was
heard
my
of.
first console.
I
GoldenEye.
what's funny about that is my mom had one of the original Ataris.
Ooh.
Um, and we still have it. It doesn't work, but we still have it. And then we got the original Nintendo. And we also got the game Genie with that original Nintendo, which was pretty awesome because there were certain games that I could never beat. So I was like, oh, I'm going to pop in the game Genie and see if I can put some codes in to help me beat it. And then we ended up getting the Super Nintendo, which that was like a complete game changer for gaming.
Ah, massive.
Um, Yes, and at one point I got a Sega, um, and then for the longest time, oh, then we got the Nintendo 64. We were mostly Nintendo. I didn't get a PlayStation until I want to say I was 11, 12. I got my first PlayStation, and then I got the PlayStation 2, and then I started playing PlayStation games. And then when I got off to college, I got an Xbox. So I've been kind of like all over the place with the
Yeah.
gaming consoles that I have and the different types of games that have been available on those different gaming consoles. So I kind of feel like I am a variety at heart. But like I said, horror is where I found my happy place. So
Yeah, you
um,
found your niche there, kind of
yeah,
thing.
niche. I always feel like I say it wrong. I should know this. I went to school for biology, and that is one of the things that they talk about, and I just mispronounce things constantly.
I find that amazing because the first time you told me about this, I was just baffled. You went to college for biology. The first,
Yep.
you give me a fun fact about like snow leopards. One of the first times I ever talked to you, and
Yes.
then you're a streamer. How did you go
Then I'm a
from
streamer.
biology to this, snow leopards to this?
Well, it's kind.
Small limits.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of an interesting. My adulthood has been all over the place. I initially went to college for biology. I had the intentions of going to medical school, but when I looked at the cost of medical school, I was just like, I don't want to have to pay that much. Um, Way too expensive. Plus, I have friends that are already in the medical field, and they're like, it's not a lucrative position. And honestly, I wasn't planning to go into it for the money. I was going in for the passion of wanting to treat and heal patients suffering from who knows what. But like I said, the cost of it was a deterrent. Plus, medicine it's gotten so bad lately. Not bad in terms of quality of care or anything. It's just a lot of things have been going on with medicine. As we know, globally, there's been a problem with that. So then I ended up switching my interest to getting a PhD in biology, and I'm very much into DNA and genetics. That's that's what my favorite subject is in biology. So I studied snow leopards when I was in grad school. We were studying snow leopard populations in the wild. Um, and I had all intentions of getting my PhD, but then some behind the scenes things happened that led me to just getting a master's and moving on from there. Since I had a master's, I went into teaching. I taught biology on and off for a few years, and then when the pandemic started, it just everything kind of just like stopped for me, and I was left in this position. What do I do next? Do I continue teaching? Do I do something do something with my master's in medicine? And I was just like, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. And I turned to Twitch to start watching. Initially, it was to just pass the time, and I was looking at different videos or different streams of people who were doing more like tutorials and lifestyle, and from there it went to gaming because I was on looking at the recommended list, and then I was like, oh, this person's funny, that person's funny, and then I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna give this a try, see how this works out. And I was like, this is just gonna be a hobby, this isn't gonna be something that's gonna be long term or anything like that. Little did I know.
Backfired, didn't it?
that yes. um it went from more of a hobby to more of a full-time endeavor. I do consider myself a full-time streamer. And that is where I'm at today. Like, I completely went from over here to over there. And I still have interest in biology. I still have interest in medicine, in genetics. Um, but at the same time, this is where I have found myself to not only be the most happy in what I'm doing, but it is also very rewarding. I find being an entertainer, having that entertaining, being, let me take a step back. I've always been an entertainer at heart. I've always wanted to be an entertainer, be someone who would either be on stage, on a TV show, in a movie, something like that. I've always dreamed of that, but I know that is something that a lot of people have the same dream, and it is very oversaturated, and it can be tough to break into the entertainment industry. So this was a place where I felt I could be an entertainer and I can run this the way I want to do it and not be told, oh, you don't have this look, or you don't sound like this, or whatever. I feel like this is just everything came together for me with Twitch and with streaming, and this is where I'm at today.
Brilliant.
I think I just did another big loop to get to that answer.
No, I love that. That was, I mean, you hit the question in the head there. I mean, that was brilliant. I love hearing stories and how people get to where they are.
And like I said, I still always think back to my background, what I went to school for, and I always have the opportunity to go back into that. I could go back into biology if I ever feel like wanting to do it, but currently right now, this is what my career is, and this is what I'm looking to continue to expand and grow in. Granted, it's not always easy. There are times where I do struggle. Even as a partner, I do struggle. And I do want to establish that as well. Just because I did reach partnership didn't mean a lot of things opportunities open up for me. I have had opportunities, but it has been a struggle. There are times where I'm like, oh, uh-oh.
We got cut in half. We'll be back
someone.
in a second when we get him back. There we go. We're back. Carl had to run off and feed the dog, get some milk.
Dogs, man, milk. I had to top up my mood.
There you go. Top of his mood. No, internet problems and all that. But you were saying a second ago, Trev, that even as a partner, sometimes you can struggle with it because it's very intensive.
And part of it is if, and this is something that always happens, and I alluded to it a little earlier. If, let's say, you switch your gameplay up and you move from a game like Phasmophobia where you built your audience, and then you go to a different game, a different genre, a lot of that community is probably not going to want to, like, they might like that you're switching things up, but they might not want to watch what you're playing. So that can ultimately affect your viewership numbers, and it has happened to me. Another thing that has happened is people get bored watching you. I have over 6,900 levels in Phasmophobia. That means I've played the game a lot. I have over 1,000 hours registered for the game. That can, people will enjoy watching it, but at the same time, they will start to get bored. They'll want to go watch someone else. Another thing to take into consideration, a lot of viewers who started off as viewers have now become streamers themselves. So
That's a
they're
big thing.
streaming now. So they're jumping now into streaming. Something else to consider, other people are getting off of Twitch for a variety of different reasons. The biggest, with the lockdowns easing up, people have been able to go out more often, get away from their technology, and actually be outside doing things. And it's also in the northern hemisphere, we are in the height of summer. People want to be outside and not at their computers. So there are a number of different factors, and I've noticed viewership for a lot of streamers has dropped. Um, Even partners, their viewership has gone down by 20, 30, or even 40 viewers. It happens, and it can be a little discouraging, but at the same time, it shouldn't deter you from wanting to stream, because even though some people are leaving and not watching, there are still a lot of people on the platform who are watching and who are here and who are looking for new people to watch. So that is something to keep in mind. There have been opportunities that have opened up for me, though, becoming a partner. I am now I have some sponsorships with two different companies. I also have the ability now to create a stream team, but I'm not planning to do that. I feel like I'm flying better solo. um, and let me think what else. Where was I going with that? There are also some incentives within Twitch that you can utilize as a partner. One being the ad incentive program, but that's a completely different discussion. It's a little bit of a controversial topic, actually.
Oh, so I've never
Um,
heard of this.
Haven't you?
well, ads have been increasing a lot across the platform, and I've noticed it in some streams where it's gone from maybe like 2 or 3 ads an hour to about 8 ads an hour. And part of why that is frustrating is, and why it's a little controversial, is people are, like, sub to my channel if you don't want to see ads, but not everyone can subscribe to someone's channel. Because financial,
Even if they
they
can,
just
you
don't.
can't should expect it.
Yeah, it should never be expected. So
Yeah.
that is a controversial topic right now. And I did an ad incentive program last month for July, and I did notice that a lot of comments in chat when I did stream were, "Oh, I got another ad. Oh, that's the fourth ad this hour. That's the fifth ad this hour." That was something that was a little bit like, "Oh, I don't want that many ads playing while I'm streaming," because what if I'm in the midst of something like a deep heated discussion or a very scary, tense moment in the game, and then boom, there's an ad and they miss it. So that was something controversial. And this month, and from moving on forward, I'm not going to be doing the incentivization. I hope that's a word. If not, I just made it up.
It's a great word,
Because
Trev. I like it.
it's
I
a
like it.
perfect word. It's a
Yeah.
perfect word. I just don't want anyone to feel like they're going to miss out because an ad runs at a particular time. And like I said, it is controversial because ads do keep Twitch free, free to use. And although it's not a lot of money, uh, uh, ad revenue can help for any streamer. Some, they get a few bucks here and there. Um, not like that's a big difference, but it's still, you're making something from the ads. But at the same time, you don't want 8, 9, 10 ads playing within an hour, specifically for your audience members who can't sub, because they're there to watch and support you. And if there are that many ads, that's going to deter them from wanting to come around, because if they can't see you streaming stuff because there's so many ads, then they're like, well, why do I even bother? So it's an interesting conversation. I think a lot of streamers now are having this conversation, across the spectrum, from those at the very low end, those who have just begun their streaming career, to even the highest, that they're pulling in so many different audience members. I think this discussion is going to become more and more frequent, and I'm interested to see how it goes, because, like I said, I've noticed an increase in ads lately, and an increased frustration, um, amongst viewers, and that is something else. I'm going to go back a little bit about viewership drops. That could even be playing a role. Maybe some people just decide, well, I get enough commercials when I watch a TV show. I don't need it while I'm watching Twitch. So it's an interesting conversation to be had. One that people have differing opinions on, but ultimately is a discussion that should be had, and something to take in mind.
All right, then
Keep in mind.
let's have it. Cards on the table. Ads or no ads? What do you say?
Oh,
You too,
I mean,
guys. It really is hard to answer that, because on the one hand, I want to say
Twitter's gonna
no.
bash us anyway. Let's do it.
I want to say no, but on the same hand, I want to say yes, because the ads keep Twitch free to use.
yeah.
If we didn't have the ads, then you'd have to pay to be on the platform, which, who's going to want to do that? But on the flip side, when there's so many ads that are playing and you can't enjoy the streaming experience, you can't enjoy watching what you're watching, because it's so unpredictable. You don't know when they're going to pop up, and you don't know how long they're going to be. Then you're like, well, why do I even bother watching if this is going to be every hour, or every time this person streams, it's going to happen all the time? So it's a little bit of both. It's like there's some merit to it, and then there's not so good things that are happening with it. So I'm a little bit of both to that question.
Like, I know they're trying to, like, on desktop, if you have an ad, it moves the stream to the top as small. But I think they need to introduce an option where you can still hear it, and just maybe turn down the ad or something. Because, I mean, when an ad pops up, it's kind of like a horror game. It literally just smashes at you, and it's loud. And usually it's a Coca-Cola or something. I don't know what ad it is. And it's really loud.
Could you imagine trying to sell that to the advertiser?
I know, but at the same
Like,
time,
okay,
understand
so they can
Twitch
mute
needs to
your
make money
ad
as
while
well,
watching
so.
this, okay? But it's okay. So the deal is $250,000. Okay, they're going to mute you though. Yeah. Who's saying yes to that?
Yeah.
That's it.
Because they want not only the visual appeal, but they want the auditory appeal in their advertisement that plays. And at the same time, it's like, oh, well, you can cut that streamer off for a few minutes so you could show our ad, to keep. I'm not in advertising. I'm not in marketing, so I don't understand all the little intricacies of how it works. But I do know that eventually, if there are too many ads, you're going to turn off the target audience of your platform. Yeah. So Twitch viewers are going to get turned off by so many ads popping up. And it also puts the streamer in a weird place too, because the streamer themselves, they're not running the ads. They just pop up whenever. And I feel like it puts the streamer in an uncomfortable position where, yes, they're making a little bit of income from these ads and via ad revenue, but at the same time, they don't want their audience members to be discouraged from coming around if the ads keep popping up. So, like I said, it's a very complicated discussion, because it's also you're in the moment when you're doing your stream. When I get an ad on a YouTube video, I kind of just like, whatever. I can always back up and watch that sequence again, or
You can
because
skip
it's
after
already
5 seconds.
it's already a pre-recorded video for the most part. Like if you do a YouTube live, I don't know how ads work that way because I generally don't watch any YouTube lives. But you can usually skip those ads. On Twitch it's completely different. So I guess we'll find out. We'll see how this discussion goes moving forward because, like I said, it's controversial. It has multiple different sides to it. There's some merits. There's some not so good things, and I guess we'll see what happens here in the future.
Definitely. Good old ads.
Yeah, I can't argue with you. Personally, I keep them off, but everyone's in their own situation. I do other jobs beside Twitch, so I can leave it off.
Yeah, and that's something like and I'll even say this to new streamers or those who've just reached affiliate. Ads will pop up. Ads will pop up no matter what. I think they have it set in the algorithm that ads will pop up regardless of your status on Twitch. But I do believe that you start making revenue. You can make a little bit of revenue when you're an affiliate, but you have a greater chance of making a revenue if you're a partner. Because I know they have the ad incentive program for partners, but I do believe they're going to branch that down so it includes everyone who is an affiliate and higher. And I think
down,
that's what they're
down to us mere mortals, affiliates.
I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way.
Get out! The door's there, man.
I realized when I said
No,
it didn't come out right.
It's funny. It's funny.
Anyone who's an affiliate or partner will ultimately have this ad incentive. And I think why we're seeing an increase in ads right now is because I think they're testing to see how it works via the algorithm of Twitch and to get to get more feedback from users, from not only community members, those who are viewing, but also from the streamers themselves. But like I said, it is a controversial topic, and I'm curious to maybe I'll put out a tweet about it.
Do it. I'll
ads
like it.
No
I'll
ads.
retweet it.
I'm sure that tweet is going to cause controversy.
Do it. I can take it. Don't worry about the controversy. Genuinely, just be honest, because you're a partner. You're dealing with this shit up front. It's your opinion.
Yeah.
And you're not exactly an extreme guy. You're pretty relaxed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like. I will be honest. I don't like confrontation. It's one of the things that I try to avoid. But when it comes down to it, I'm upfront with my thoughts and opinions on things. If something doesn't feel right to me, I'm gonna say, hey, this isn't right. Let's find an alternative to this, or But I know some people, these kind of topics, these kind of conversations can make people uncomfortable, or their opinion differs with someone else, and it can lead to a strain in their relationship. They can and ends up becoming more personal than it was intended to. So, and these are kind of conversations that need to be had. They need to be kept civil, though. So it's tough to explain, and I feel like I'm rambling again, so I apologize. But yeah, it's we'll see how it goes. We'll see what comes of it.
At least I know where you stand now. Cards on the table.
That's
yeah. No, sometimes you want to beat around the bush, but gotta be honest.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to just say, "Hey, this is how I feel about it." Yay, nay, middle of the road,
maybe.
Maybe.
in your old stream team you were part of, I talked to some of the members of it, just in their chats, saying like, "Hey, what's up?" And they loved you. It's no bad news here. But they were saying that they think Twitch is in decline. A lot of them want to get onto YouTube. Do you share the same opinion?
I feel that. I think part of why that is happening is YouTube has been around for a long time. I remember when YouTube released, and YouTube is how do I want to say this? YouTube has the ability to not only be live streaming, but you can also upload anything like that. For Twitch, it's all live. So when you're on Twitch, you're doing in the moment. Obviously, you could do reruns of your stream, but you have to do it in the moment. There's no editing on Twitch. It is solely right then and there. And I think that appeals to a lot of people. Another thing that appealed to a lot of people was during the pandemic. It was a way for people to engage with each other, to make an income, because a lot of people lost their jobs during the pandemic. So it was an opportunity to make a revenue. But then I feel like there's a peak that is going to be reached. I don't know if we've hit it yet. I don't know if it's going to happen for a while, but I do know there are opinions that it is in decline. And it's a little bit of a scary thought because, a lot of people have made a livelihood in live streaming. And if for some reason the platform starts to go in decline, what other options are there? And that is something that I have noticed a lot of friends trying to build up a YouTube as a backup, as a secondary plan in case Twitch were to fail for them. I think another thing that has happened is safety has been a big concern for a lot of up and coming Twitch streamers. Specifically, fears of getting doxxed, fears of having their personal information put out across the internet, and the response from Twitch. I'm alluding back to last year when all the hate raids were happening. That was something that deterred a lot of people from staying on the platform. And I think that caused a big issue last year. It hasn't been as frequent. It still happens from time to time because Twitch has put safety measures in place, but I feel like some of the damage had already been done. And that's why some people now are moving to other platforms. I know YouTube has a platform for live streaming. Facebook has a platform for live streaming. TikTok, you can also live stream. But I feel like they're all in competition with each other. Which streaming platform is going to outstream the other platforms? I hate that I just said outstream, but I feel like that is the boat that we're in right now. And plus, a lot of people get frustrated at how corporations run things. And since Twitch is owned by Amazon, that is something that some people are very frustrated with, but it goes with all corporations. Facebook, same boat. TikTok, same boat. Any place where you live stream, there's always going to be that disdain for who owns that company and how they operate it. So that could also play a role in it as well. Who knows, though? I guess we'll find out in the future.
That was just
Time will tell.
that just felt very pessimistic. I'm terrified now.
I do
All the time you're
apologize.
talking,
Don't-
I'm thinking if Twitch goes, I'm fucked. I've put the last 7-8 months into this motherfucker.
There are plenty of options, and I honestly don't feel like it's. I feel like I may have painted a grim picture there, but it's not going to be as bad as I painted it out to be, because public interest in things goes up and down all the time. YouTube lost some of its favorability for a while, and now they're building back up again. And as long as Twitch keeps things fresh and up to date, and they take into consideration the safety of its members, its community members, and prioritizes keeping safety one of its top priorities. That's what I meant to say. I think a lot of people will continue to remain on the platform and continue to stream and to explore all the different options that they have. They can play games, they can do artwork, they can do this, do that. So we'll see how it goes. And that also leads into other topics of conversation like copyright and can you play music here
Our
versus
friends
there.
No.
Yeah, so even that even that is a big topic of discussion, because what music can you play when you live stream? If you have the rights, are you okay to play it? If you don't
Don't
have the
start on me.
rights, I'm sorry.
I play any music on my streams, and Cal
Yeah.
keeps making me scared of doing that.
Yeah,
Cal's over here
and that
separating his audio, make sure you only use like remixes or no copyrights. I'm over here like,
I generally try to
I like
stick by the
Dr. Dre,
book,
but put him on today.
you know,
Yeah.
uh,
And that's another thing. Always, and this is something I do want to say as well. And this kind of goes with what you were asking about a decline. And I think part of this has played a big role in it. There are members of the community on Twitch that don't keep up to date with terms of service. So it's always good to review TOS, review what is okay, what is not okay, because if you're violating TOS, your chance of being kicked off the platform goes up. So being mindful of terms of service, following the rules as best you can, and making sure to just be an upbeat, awesome human being. And that will keep the appeal for live streaming on the platform,
yeah.
and continue to be something that people want to do. But I do know there are so many different factors. There's also the factor of what's happening off stream. Are people going back to work? If people are going back to work who did a lot of streaming before, now they're not streaming as much, or they just decided to quit altogether. That's going to cause a dip in numbers as well. So that's another thing to take into consideration. So there's so many different factors. There's this, that,
So
these, and
much.
those, and obviously in the competition with other streaming services, it can be tough. I sort of view it like how Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu and all these different streaming services where you can watch things, you become so oversaturated with them. Where do you go to? What do you do? Should you be on this platform or that platform or this one? Should you be on all of them? That's another thing that I think can cause some issues and something to keep in mind if there were to ever be a decline. But I do know what you're talking about, though. I have seen a few streamers and content creators nervous about the future of Twitch and what that's going to mean for them in their livelihood. So, and it's always good to have. You're just like,
Forget about it. It's on the up and up. It's unbeatable. It's untamable.
Yes.
It's a beast.
Yes. Just
For me, I just
keep
feel
If
like-
at it.
someone's leaving, that's your chance to take their place. Someone, that's,
There
it's
you
like
go.
people
as a
leaving the
content
line.
creator,
You're at the back of the
Yeah.
line. They're leaving the line. Take their
It's the
fucking
back.
place.
There you go.
I feel as a content creator, you just need to be. For myself personally, I feel like as a content creator, just being on as many platforms, just for exposure. You were saying earlier on, try
Yeah.
and get your numbers up. If you're into one person at a time, and you need to get yourself out there, and that means trying different avenues as well. I mean,
Yeah.
so be it. And
Now,
I think that's another reason as well.
like if you become an affiliate through Twitch, you cannot, and maybe I think it also applies to any member on Twitch, really. No, it would just be affiliate. You cannot live stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. But you can upload your VOD to YouTube 24 hours after your VOD ends. As a partner, you cannot stream on any other service like YouTube. You can only upload your VOD after 24 hours. So if you're an affiliate, you can stream on both YouTube and Twitch, preferably on separate days. But if you're a Twitch partner, you're exclusive to Twitch. You cannot stream on any other platform. You can just upload your VOD. So that is something else to keep in mind. And your Twitch contract, I believe, lasts 2 years as a partner. So when my time comes to renew my partner status, that is something where, I have to think, if I continue to stay as a partner, I can't stream on YouTube or Facebook or any of the other platforms. But if I jump back to affiliate, then I can stream on those other platforms. I just can't stream at the same time as I do Twitch. So that is something to keep in mind as well. But it is good to be on all these different platforms, because not only are you building your exposure that way, but you're also exploring different kinds of content that you're producing for example, me on YouTube, I'm looking to break away from more of my gameplay and do more in real life kind of things. And those would be videos that I would just film, edit, and then upload at any time. And it would have nothing to do with Twitch. But when I'm on TikTok, I have my Twitch clips that I'm going to be posting. I just posted some yesterday, actually. So that's something to also keep in mind. So off the top of my head, I am on YouTube, Hover, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. So I'm on 5 different socials beyond Twitch. I also have a Facebook, but I only use that because I have an Oculus. So, and to use my Oculus, I need to be connected to Facebook. So, so those are things to keep in mind as well.
Yeah,
It's just so much.
it's-
It can be overwhelming. Now that I'm talking this out, it's overwhelming how many different socials you're on, and to manage all those different socials and to keep up with them. That's like I always apologize to people. It's like, hey, you DM'd me like 2 months ago, and I just saw your message. I am sincerely sorry for that. It gets overwhelming. It's hard to keep up with
I'm
everything. I
divorced.
know. I'm bad.
He knows. He knows.
The pair of you are terrible.
I know. I'm guilty.
I need to get Cal's fucking phone number.
It might be the easiest
I
thing.
need your address, man.
Like-
It'd be faster if I walk down there.
Man, send the carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
That'd be much easier, like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're on the ball with us.
I love that.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I'm brutal.
you're both quite busy in fairness. You've got a lot of shit going on. That's one thing I find. I used to get annoyed people who would like answer very shortly. Like if they're content creators or something, I used to book them for my old show or whatever. I'm asking for advice, whatever. And they'd be like, yes, no, sure, yes, maybe, okay. The short answers. And I caught myself the other day doing the exact same fucking thing. Because I'm like, okay, this motherfucker still messaged me. Okay. Oh, hi, Mom. Okay. Yeah.
I'll reply to her later.
Yeah. But
That's too funny.
just like, I don't know if you get like a lot of messages, but I get fucking shit tons.
I get quite a bit. And part of it is I'm trying to keep it where my socials are business only. So if someone wants to reach out to me on a business proposition or to do this, and this, that is what I'm more focused on. But on occasion, I get more personal DMs that I'm like, well, I need to respond, but this isn't the time nor the place where I want to be doing this. And when I say personal, I mean like my Twitter is not a dating app. That's the best way that I can put it.
And the Instagram. And it's Hover. It's quite unique in that factor.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Not even denying it.
So what, guys, fill your DMs in Twitter. Nice. Nice.
It kind of makes me laugh, but at the same time, it's like one of those things where, you know, I should have it completely set up where, like, my socials are a little mix of business and personal. I should have had it separated where it's just all business, and then made my own personal one, so I don't have a variety of different DMs coming in and being like, and I'm like, oh, I have to answer this one, which is a business, versus this one, which is not so business and more personal. It can be tough. So a good recommendation for anyone who is looking to expand their social network. If you want to do streaming, create your own streaming profiles separate from your personal, private, day-to-day one. It might be a little overwhelming to add more profiles, but at least it'll keep it separated for you, and you won't get as overwhelmed with the amount of DMs that you get, or even just posts and comments that you get. I'm learning that more and more. Which with each passing day, I learn more and more.
I agree and kind of disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a yes and no kind of situation. I feel like whatever your opinion is. I'm curious to hear.
So
So I have
I do.
both. I use both. Yeah,
Yeah,
personal and work. But
and and, and I
separate too.
see it. I see merit in having both in one, because not only does it show your streaming lifestyle, but it shows your lifestyle beyond streaming. It shows how you are off stream, what you're doing in your day-to-day life. And that can be a good thing, because that can bring in new interest to your socials. It can bring in new people. It can introduce them to be like, oh, not only does he game, but he likes artwork. He likes to paint. He likes to play the guitar. He likes baking. He likes I'm trying to think of things that I do.
He makes sourdough
and,
bread.
Yes. Ooh, now I'm hungry. So there is a perk to it, but at the same time, it can be a little frustrating, because some people see that as an opportunity to send you messages that you're not really expecting. So a good thing to do, also establish boundaries. That's a good thing to have. Establish your rules, stick to them. Don't let anyone make you feel less of a person, and stand by your convictions. If you say no inappropriate DMs and someone sends you one, be like, bye, and block. If that's what you choose to do. Or if you're open to DMs, just be like, keep it civil, keep it safe, don't be inappropriate. Find a way to put out the rules and stick to them. So,
Kind of a
No,
funny
agreed.
story.
uh-oh.
When it comes to these inappropriate DMs. I
Oh.
don't know what it is, okay? Women will never DM me. But guys do. Okay? I'm straight as an arrow. But I was just scrolling one day, I'm fucking having a crack. I'm like, okay, stream later on. Oh, some guy might follow me. They go, hey, I love your stuff. Oh, thanks, dude. Okay. Next day he messaged me, how are you? I'm good. Day after, he sent me a picture of his bare asshole. Like his bare, unshaven asshole.
Wow.
That happened.
That was the whole conversation. Oh, across 3 days. I love your stuff.
I
How
hope
are
you use Manscaped.
He did not.
Yes.
He did not. I'm serious, man. This is one of the most horrifying experiences of my life.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys have a story like that, but that really ruined my day.
I am sorry I sent it.
Actually, my girlfriend was there the day after, and I was like, I think I kind of understand what women go through. I think I have a rough idea. Unsolicited pictures.
Yep.
Got a bare asshole sent to me. It was awful.
That is what happens, and I initially, when it was happening to me, I'd be like, ah! But then I get to the point where it's like, not another one.
Do I save this or do I not? Oh.
Be like,
that's a cute one.
It'd be nice if you could have it like
in
your email address where you can have different folders. I could be, I'm gonna put this one here.
Well, that goes in OneDrive.
OneDrive.
That's deep storage. The Library of Alexandria. We can put it in there. There we go.
Dropbox.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
That is brilliant.
We have
you guys don't have a story
quite a
like
turn.
Oh, yeah,
plenty. Plenty.
Gives your best story. We're streamers, lads. We have weird experiences. Come on, give me something.
Well, okay. When I first started streaming,
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
The juicy one.
Juicy.
Well, at the time, I had a not safe for work Twitter. Nothing of me, mind you. It was just like I had stuff on there that a lot of people were like, "Ooh, I'm gonna send this guy this unsolicited picture." Well, I started posting my Twitch schedule and be like, "Hey, come watch me stream." And the one day I was streaming it in my chat, I didn't have any moderation settings in place. And there were only like two of us watching.
Yeah, I know it's a go, man.
It was so inappropriate. The comments that were being posted, and I was like, I didn't have a mod team then either, so I didn't know how to delete comments, and I was just like, "You're making me uncomfortable." I was just like, "No, no, you can't talk like this on this chat." I'm not going to go into specifics of what they wrote, but even they made me blush,
That's hard to do.
and it takes a lot to make me blush. So,
Mm.
I was like, this time and place. This is not the time nor the place. And they wouldn't stop, and it became very uncomfortable. Like you're overstepping my set boundaries
Yeah, it
at
goes
this
from funny
point.
to like you're a
I
creep
said,
at
yeah,
a
it went
best.
from funny to just absolutely horrifying, and I was just like, you need to stop. This is not appropriate, and they wouldn't stop. So finally, I had to end stream. I banned them
That's stupid.
and I blocked them on Twitter. And it all stemmed from them sending an unsolicited photo that I did not respond to. And that's where things led. And I was just like, and that was at the very beginning of my streaming career, shortly after the new year. So that was in January 2021. And it was uncomfortable. But I've also had those stories like you have, like someone will message me. It's like, hey, how's it going? I was like, oh, not too bad. How are you? And next thing I know, I get that photo, and it's like,
Honest to God, that's the face. Like you fucking degenerate.
I was like, are you serious?
Like you're the
Are
most
you
deprived
serious?
human I've ever met. How do you make the leap? Hi, how are you?
I
I'm
don't
good, dude.
even
How are you?
know.
Here's my
I
asshole.
don't even. They go
Did I
from
miss
A to
something?
Yeah, we skipped
Wow.
like
Yeah.
a lot.
Dinner.
Yeah,
they
dinner.
go from A all the way to I don't even know. And it's like, yeah, buy me dinner first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not jealous of that now. I've never had something that bad. I've been called Daddy G in chat. That's funny to me. But to have someone like go from you not responding, seeing you open it, go to your Twitch, and then just be some kind of weird creep in your chat, just deprived,
Yeah,
looking for a reaction off it. I hate that. That's awful.
it's
Yeah.
it was very uncomfortable. So, and that is something that all streamers deal with. We've all encountered one experience, or will encounter one experience, where someone from one of our socials will pop in and make us feel very uncomfortable. The best thing to do is ignore it, and if they keep it up, ban, block, report.
And if you're small, do not be
And
scared to ban or block someone. Like if
Yeah.
you
yes,
if you have a
oh,
stream full
do
of
it,
idiots, like
do
there's no
it,
point streaming. You
and
better
have it set up.
zero.
Yeah, you could have it set up where you could have an unban request. So if someone feels like slighted, why did I get banned? Well, explain your situation to me and we'll make the decision after. Like I've had quite a bit of people that we've had to ban in my community that have come back with an unban request, and I either tell the mod team, well, let's give them a second chance. It was just a mistake, or it's like, absolutely not. They're not welcome in my community. Um, and another thing that Twitch is doing now, they now have ban evasion, the ban evasion setting, where if someone, I don't know how it works. I don't know if somehow it works through their ISP address, but if someone creates a new profile from the same computer or device that they have, I think it's a way of being like, oh, be careful, this is such and such. I
We were
think,
talking about this
but I
earlier.
don't know.
7Co.
Yeah.
I don't know the specifics on how that works, but I've had people do some ban evasions, and I was just like, bye. You first time wasn't enough. Let's ban you again.
It is a good
So
effort
yeah,
from Twitch, but yeah, it's
yeah.
It's everything's on an individual level. You can't ban
Yeah.
for the shit
The
people
mod
do.
and the mod, it's good to have a good mod team because they're the ones that keep you safe. They're the ones who look out for things because you're in the moment of streaming. You're playing the game, you're talking, you're communicating. You don't need that added extra step of having to figure out who this person is. Have your mod team take care of it, and you can have a mod team even if you are not an affiliate. So find someone that you know and can trust. Have at least 2 to 3 mods, at least one present at all times, because they can handle that for you. And if you can't have someone, get something like Nightbot that can, but sometimes Nightbot will.
Don't start with me and Nightbot.
Nightbot timed me out one time for saying hi to someone. So
If you type in lurk,
Oh,
or if you type in like play, if you type in play,
Uh-huh.
it'll like the joint marbles. It'll say like, oh, your song request failed. You type in lurk,
Yeah.
it'll be like, you can't do that command. And people are like, oh shit, I just lurked. What the fuck, dude?
It makes
I'm
no
sorry,
sense to
I'll
me,
never
but
lurk
it's
again.
kind of funny.
Oh yeah, I need to fix it.
That's why I'm starting to make my own bot. It's just easier to kind of keeping track of everything that's going on.
It's easier
Yeah.
to learn AI than it is to work with one. There
Yeah,
we go.
than to control it.
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly. I've looked at
I-
coding on all the different bots that exist, and I'm just like, I should just make my own. Call it the Squishy Bot.
Squish ball. Yeah.
Yeah,
Squish Bot.
Squishbot. That is so cute. There you go.
Ah.
I tried to use your one, Firebot, and it did my head in.
It takes some time. It takes some time to set up. If you ever have any questions about it, just reach out to me. Firebot is a great bot. It does a lot. It's very interactive. It's how I do that screen counter now. So
That's pretty good.
it's
I've looked at Firebot
honestly
before,
it
yeah.
has been the best bot overall for me. It has done so much to help me out as a streamer, and it helps the mod team out as well. So
No,
Not skipping this over though, Cal. Your story.
for social media,
Oh yes.
do I
Uh-oh.
have any social? Honestly, I don't have any stories like that. I have people reaching out to me, because of course my community is a very, it's like a family, and people have reached out to me in my community through Instagram, even after like 1 or 2 streams, and they're just thankful. But I've never had, other than graphic designers, I've had nothing else really. Honestly, I
Yeah.
have been very lucky in that regard. It can be, it's another thing as a streamer. I think people come in, they do tend to look up to you, and they do ask you more personal questions. So again, it comes down to setting boundaries. But I feel like, at the end of the day, not all of us are trained in giving the right answers or the wrong answers. So I think I'm always there to chat to people, and I'm pretty sure you've had the same problem, Trev and Jar,
Yeah.
when people do approach you, and just chat, but also just be careful. But I've never had any issues with people coming in and giving me any grief or anything like that, not yet.
No one's ever.
And if
come
they
in and give you
have,
grief.
yeah, if they have, I probably haven't read it yet. 1 to 2.
I'm not saying that like they should. I'm actually surprised because
Yeah,
that's
no.
common as fuck.
I get a lot of graphic designers, and fair enough. I mean, we all got to try and promote our work, but that's the only lots of that. That's about it.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, no, I've been pretty lucky, I think. To my knowledge.
Well, that's just lucky, man. Fair play.
Mm.
I guess me and Trevor are just targets.
That's it.
Random
Maybe
ass picks left, right, and center. I'm gonna finish this and check my phone. That guy was saying.
I need to
hello
check my
earlier.
phone.
Ass
I'm
pick
like,
again.
I've got a
I-
random selfie.
Yeah,
just a selfie.
I get those. I'm just peeking at my phone here real quick.
And then I just send a random selfie back, like, oh.
I don't.
My-
I hate that. Just randomly sending a selfie like,
They're like,
what are you at? Yeah,
probably
What?
see down my throat with that. What I just did.
it was lovely,
Oh.
Trev. That's the thumbnail. Thank you.
I took a screenshot.
There we go.
Oh, hold on.
Actually,
there you go.
when you were doing your deadpan face earlier, I was thinking the whole time like, that's it. That's the thumbnail. That's it. There it is, right there. The
You
intensity.
can make a meme out of
ferocity.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
I'm a former
boarding
teacher,
straight into
so
me.
I had the teacher look.
Oof. That you're literally, as I said earlier on, that is screaming. I'm not angry.
You have a very expressive face.
So disappointed.
I do. I'm
Probably gonna
very
blush.
animated.
Yes.
That's brilliant, though. I think, and again,
Oh,
it
thank
works
you.
for your streams as well. I'd say people love that, So
They do. They do. And I'm sure they're going to love it today because we're going to be doing some community games here soon. We're
Ooh.
playing Ghost Watchers, so this should be interesting.
That's a bit
Gotta-
like Faz, right?
It is. It is. It's a new ghost game, a ghost hunting game. It's has a
Did
lot
I
of
show up when you were
potential.
playing that? With the
I
weak
think
tongue
you
guy?
did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's who it is. Yes, that was it.
Yeah, that was a
Yep,
weird one.
that's
Look,
that's gonna happen today. So,
ooh.
I look forward to it.
all right, sounds perfect. I'm a
Yeah.
little nervous.
Oh, we'll see you in
'cause
there.
I'm gonna
Ooh.
scream a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
yeah, that's brilliant. So what plans do you have for the future of your streaming? You want going to keep going hard on Twitch, or are you looking to branch out, or
I'm gonna
where's
stick
it
with
end?
Twitch.
Where does it end?
I'm gonna stick with Twitch. I'm gonna continue growing the community, continue building the community up, and I'm gonna continue investing time in social media, building up the community as far as I can. We'll see how we continue to grow and expand, and if opportunities open elsewhere, I will look into them and take those opportunities. But for now, I'm sticking solely with Twitch, with the live streaming. I am going to be posting things to YouTube that don't that for the most part have nothing to do with my streaming career. It's going to be more in real life stuff. But other than that, streaming with Twitch. That's what I
Awesome.
feel like doing.
Get after it.
Yeah, that's it. And that's it. You're enjoying the moment, so do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, my friend, it's been a pleasure. We've taken a lot of your time. We're about an hour and a half.
Oh,
Time
I
flies when
had a
you're
lot
having
of fun.
That's
I
it.
know, right? Oh,
That's
also
it.
for those of you watching this, this whole time I've been doing this without my glasses. I'm gonna put them on
Oh,
now.
there you go. There he is.
I'm a
There he is.
completely different person.
Who are we interviewing?
Superman.
This I don't know who that person was. That was not Squishy Trev. This is Squishy
It
Trev.
was a phony.
Yeah.
It was the imposter we
Yeah.
brought in. We couldn't afford it.
I was the imposter.
Oh, Squishy Trev from Wish.
Actually, here's
There we
something.
go.
else.
That's good. That was good.
When we were trying to get people on for this, I came across the concept of an appearance fee for streamers. Like you appear on Twitch for free every day,
Ooh.
right? Okay, I'm throwing some shade here. Okay, that's what you do. But I've dealt with actors. I've dealt with like public figures before. Never had them. Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson bit that guy's ear off. He came on for free. Carol Baskin, she probably killed somebody. She came on for free. Okay, a Twitch streamer was asking for more than an actor from Fast and Furious. Because I had a guy from Fast and Furious, like the number 2, and he was like, yeah, 50 quid, I'll hop on. She was asking for 130 quid. 130 euro. In this economy! To talk about yourself. You ever hear the like of
This
it?
guy here. Where am I pointing? There's Jar over there.
There's me.
He's not here. He's there.
No, it was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It was you.
I'm sorry. Just I don't like that stuff very much.
I'm not cheap though. You know. I have to be here.
120 quid, you would have had me sold. 130.
Oh my lord.
I have to break a note now. You bollocks.
No, but
But no.
it has been fantastic though.
Just
I must
so
say.
everyone knows, Carol Baskin is cheaper than some streamer out there. She's not very big, you know.
Oh, that's pretty good.
What killed me was when
That's
she
pretty
also
good.
said like yes before, and she's like, yeah, I'd love to do it. That'd be great. That's awesome.
The excitement was there.
And then afterwards, like, so my parents' fee is 130 quid. You what?
He's
Anyway,
just like, no,
rant
thank
over.
you.
I'm sorry. I had to get that out of me, man.
He's been bottling that up for
Yeah, it's
weeks.
fucking killing me.
Weeks, you know. So.
Yeah. I like the person, and they said that, and I'm like, you fucking ass. It's all fake. It's all fake.
It's a lie.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yes, that's my rant over. I'm done.
It's done.
There you
Alright,
go.
But lads and ladies, it's been great crack. This has been Squishy Trev. Linked below will have his Twitch, whatever else I can find on him. Any dirt, his MySpace back in the day, it'll be here. Okay.
Oh gosh.
His PlayStation
Whoa.
accounts, his bank details, it's all below. So take it
Yeah.
handy. Good luck. And bye bye.
Oh.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye.